What's up, fifth graders? This is Mr. Rindo, and this is going to be a quick little review video, and you guys could practice these skills when you're done listening to this. So our focus strategies today are going to be on using common denominators to help us add fractions, and then also using a give and take strategy to help us more or less rename a sum or answer when we see that it's going to be more than one whole. So I'm going to go through a couple problems with you, and I think these will make pretty good sense to you guys. So we see right now we have 1/4 plus 2/3. And right now, I think you guys know that we can't add these fractions as they are. Not yet, because these parts are fourths and these parts are thirds. And we really can't add them or put them together yet until they are the same size parts. So we need common denominators. So for fourths and thirds, I'm going to use multiplication to rename these fractions to get us equivalent fractions. So I'm going to take this 4 and I'm going to multiply it by 3. And I'm going to take this 3 and I'm going to multiply it by 4. So remember, whatever we do to the denominator, then we also have to do the same thing to the numerator. That's how equivalent fractions work. So I'm going to take this 1 and multiply it by 3. And then I'm going to take this 2 and multiply it by 4. So what we are now doing is we are renaming these fractions as equivalent fractions. So 1/4 has been renamed as 3/12, and 2/3 has been renamed as 8/12. So now we can add these together because we see that all of the parts are 12ths, and now we're simply answering the question of how many 12ths do we have in all. And right away I can see that 3/12 and 8/12, that's going to be 11/12. And we're good right there. Like we see 11/12, it's not quite one whole, so we can stop right there. There's our answer. All right, let's try a second one. So this time we have 5/8 plus 3/4. And once again, I cannot add these fractions as they are because these parts are eighths and these parts are fourths. And we need common denominators in order to add these fractions together. So on the last problem, we multiplied the denominators by each other. And we can do that every time, but I'm not going to do that this time. Because what I see is that I can take this 4 and multiply it by 2. And that will give us a denominator of 8, which means we won't have to change the other one at all. So if I'm going to do times 2 for the denominator, I'm going to do times 2 for the numerator. So now we've renamed this problem. 3/4 is now 6/8, and 5/8 is still 5/8. We don't need to change that one, okay? So now that all of the parts are eighths, we can add these together. But this time I want to do something a little bit different. Because I can see right now that if I add 5/8 and 6/8 together, that they're going to end up being more than one whole, because I know that 8/8 is equal to one whole. So instead of adding them together and then renaming whatever my improper fraction is as a mixed number, I'm going to use a give and take strategy to do that right now. So I'm going to look at 6/8. I'm going to say, okay, I see that 6/8 is the closest one to becoming one whole. And I know that it needs 2 more eighths. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2/8 from 5/8 and I'm going to give them to the 6/8. Because what happens then is we know that 6/8 is going to become 8/8, and then 5/8 is going to become 3/8. And just like that, I think we know what our answer is. We know that 8/8 right here is equal to one whole, and then what do we have left over? 3/8. So guys, when I see that I'm about to add two fractions together, when I see that they're going to end up being more than one whole, I love to use the give and take strategy right away to more or less turn one of the fractions into a whole. All right, let's try one more example similar to this one. This problem right here, guys, we have 1 2/3 plus 3 7/10. So this time it's not just fractions, but this time we actually have mixed numbers. But even then, we still need common denominators in order to put these whole numbers and fractions together. So for this one, right now, thirds and tenths are not the same sized parts, but we need them to be. So I'm going to go ahead and use multiplication to rename them so that they will be. So I'm going to end up doing times 10 right here, and I'm going to end up doing times 3 right there. And so, of course, whatever I do to my denominator, I have to do the same thing to my numerator. So now on the top, it's going to be times 10. And over here on the top, it's going to be times 3. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rename both mixed numbers, not just the fraction, but the whole mixed number. So over here, now we're going to have 1 and 20/30. And over here, now we're going to have 3 and 21/30. And these are what we're going to end up adding together. So we could do that right now. We could go ahead and add 1 plus 3, and then we could do 20/30 plus 21/30. We could do that. But once again, guys, I'm going to go ahead and use that give and take strategy. So right now, I'm going to look at this number right here. And I see that we have 3 and 21/30. And I know that 21/30 needs 9 more 30ths to become another whole. So essentially what I'm asking myself is, how many 30ths do I need in order for 3 and 21/30 to become 4? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm going to turn it into 4 wholes evenly, and it needs 9/30. So I'm going to take 9/30 from this number over here, and I'm going to give them to 3 and 21/30. So now 1 and 21/30 is going to become 1 and 11/30. But the 3 and 21/30, when it gets 9 more 30ths, is going to become 4. And so now our answer is pretty obvious, I think. We have 4 right here, and we have 1 right there. So 4 plus 1 gives us 5, and then we have 11/30 left over. So I hope these make sense to you. Guys, I've gone ahead and I've printed off like a short packet that has problems just like these. And I want you guys to take a little bit of time this week to practice these problems and make sure you feel comfortable with them. And if you are working on them in class and you're still kind of confused, feel free to come and talk to me during your math class this week, and I can offer you guys a little bit of support just to try to help you make more sense of these. Thanks, guys, and have a wonderful week.